Brown. I don't want to get that incorrect. Brown, correct?
Yeah.
Brown, which is in Massachusetts, correct?
That's in Providence.
No, what am I saying? I'm thinking of Harvard. That's what it is. Why am I?
Bro, come on. I'm not that good.
And welcome back to another episode of the ST Meme Show podcast with your host NoLdAwG here. Got my iced tea, got my book of memes. Stay with us as we'll be right back with the rest of the show and our guest for this week. And welcome back to another episode of the ST Meme Show hosted by yours truly, NoLdAwG. This is the part of the show where I do my monologue, where I tell my jokes revolving in current events such as politics, the best of my ability with that, sports, other news, entertainment, health. I try my best, but without further ado, here we begin. In some political news late last week, when asked by a reporter what he'll do next week, former President Trump replied with, "Fuck, let's try that again. Welcome back to the show, everyone. This is my monologue portion of the show where I tell my jokes on current events to my best ability regarding news, political news, entertainment, sports. I try my best with health and business and so on and so forth. With any further ado, let us begin. In some political news late last week, when asked by a reporter what he'll do next, former President Trump replied with, "There's something planned, but we'll wait and see what happens next." Trump saying that is like when you ask your parents for a new video game as a kid and they say, "Well, we'll wait and see how your behavior is for this week and then we'll go from there over the weekend." That statement was as vague as it could get. Then again, that's coming from the man who thought Tim Cook of Apple's last name was Apple. In some unfortunate sports news and entertainment world news, I guess you could say, it was made official that Hall of Fame baseball legend Hank Aaron and radio legend Larry King both died last week. How unfortunate news. My thoughts go with their family. Hank Aaron had just gotten the COVID vaccine a few weeks ago, almost 3 weeks prior to his death, whereas Larry King was slinking further down to his chair and the drool was further going down his chin. But get it, because it looks like he's half dead. In his first official day as a member of the Biden administration, Dr. Fauci found himself flaming the Trump administration more than the Cowboys fans, saying that this year is their year to win the Super Bowl in his first press conference. Fauci talked about the lack of transparency with the media and what to say to the media when you were unsure. Trump administration less transparency than a blocked bowel movement. And that's when Trump hasn't had his first Coke of the day. Some exciting news, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers punched their ticket to their first Super Bowl in over a decade as they would go on to defeat the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game last week. This would prove that it was Tom Brady who was the system and not Bill Belichick being the system. Patriots fans across the country were praising Tom Brady for his victory like he was still in the Patriots. Patriots fans were cheering him like Santa Cruz and Holly cheered the white supremacists as they entered the Capitol building riots a few weeks ago. I said last week. The Kansas City Chiefs also punched their ticket to the Super Bowl as they defeated the Buffalo Bills in a tough AFC Championship game last week at Arrowhead Stadium. I guess now Jackson Mahomes can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that he can once again live off of his brother's week-to-week checks again. In some surprising news, Conor McGregor got TKO'd by Dustin Poirier last weekend, in what was built up as a comeback fight for McGregor. McGregor got knocked out cold and rear-rushed his wife in that elevator footage when he punched her. Then after the fight, former McGregor rival Khabib Nurmagomedov would go on to Twitter to roast McGregor after McGregor got TO'd into outer space. Khabib clapped back harder than Shaq calling Donovan Mitchell out for not being a superstar yet. Then McGregor would respond back to Khabib's comments, issuing a challenge seeming to forget that he just got eviscerated faster than the MyPillow losing sponsors after the Capitol riots. After that awkward verbal fisticuffs on Twitter, Jake Paul would log on to Twitter to officially change his offer to fight McGregor to only $10,000. Now this is a fight I'd want to see. On one hand, you have a washed-up guy who likes to throw chairs through party bus windows. On the other hand, you have a guy who likes to show dead people letting it hang in his hiking videos. It was announced this past weekend that former President Trump's second impeachment trial is set for February 8, 2021, as this gives more time for President Biden to have more members of his cabinet to be confirmed. Trump getting impeached for a second time is like opening a Christmas gift you didn't want, like socks before opening 3 gifts in a row that you really want. It just keeps getting better and better with the situation. Mexico's president, in some unfortunate news, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador tests positive for COVID-19 this past week. Mexico's president getting COVID is like that story of the two nerds talking about what they built in Minecraft last night. You don't care about it at all, but more about the fact that they think that they need to share this out in the open around a lot of people. Boom. It was also made official last week that President Biden rejoined the Paris Agreement Accords last week. I just said last week. On the first day of becoming president. Just like Trump, I have no idea what that is or what that decision does, and just like his cronies, I'll support him in that decision until the end, even if it hurts millions of Americans in the long haul. What was funny but nothing new was Texas Senator Ted Cruz making it public on Twitter of his disagreement in regard to Biden joining back in the Paris Agreement Accords. Somehow, according to Cruz, this makes Biden care more about the people of Pittsburgh rather than U.S. citizens, which makes no fucking sense. I guess your parents were right when they told you at a young age not to drink too much of the punch. Cruz is so far up Trump's ass, he's like the rats making a nest in your grill during the wintertime and having hundreds of offspring when you open it up in the spring. Similarly comical, if that's how you would say it properly, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul still is insisting that the results of the election are not official or legit. Live on CNN this past Sunday night with his interview with George, I forget what his name is, but you know who he is. Paul is another one who's so far up Trump's asshole that he's like that bird who somehow gets into the depths of your garage and continues to go in and out the garage to build a nest for his babies and family there. Boom. And some entertainment news that opened some eyes wide open with social media star Jojo Siwa publicly coming out last week announcing that she was a member of the LGBTQ community. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you switch governments on your to fill out certain paperwork to make that official, boom. In all honesty, though, congrats to her for doing that. It takes a lot of courage, and I respect her greatly for making that decision. On the other hand, her music sucks. And some sad sports news this past weekend. Former Carolina Panther and Seahawks tight end Greg Olsen announced his retirement after 14 years in the league. It's sad when a washed-up tight end gets more coverage than the fact that no successful minority assistant coaches in the NFL don't get a head coaching job this offseason. It was announced last week that Deshaun Watson officially wants out from the Houston Texans after a laundry list of shortcomings from the front office this season. Must be a pretty rough situation if your star quarterback lists the Jets as one of his desired places to play next season. That's what we called a #downbad moment. It was also made official over the weekend that the Detroit Lions and longtime quarterback Matthew Stafford will be parting ways regardless of the new coaching acquisitions. Matthew Stafford should just retire after spending all his time on the worst team in NFL history. Unlike Phillip Rivers, Stafford realistically wouldn't be joining any relevant team. So just like his old teammate Megatron, he should just quietly go away with his tail tucked between his legs. According to reports, former Lions head coach Matt Patricia will be returning to his former team, the New England Patriots, next season. Matt Patricia going back to his daddy after getting embarrassed for a few seasons must be what Donald Trump Jr. feels like after embarrassing his family on national television and then going back to the White House. In a bizarre moment, Aaron Rodgers shared with the media Sunday night that he is uncertain about his future in Green Bay after a tough loss to the Buccaneers this past weekend. Aaron Rodgers leaving the Packers is like President Biden not mentioning something his parents or grandparents used to say when he was a kid in Delaware. It's never gonna happen. In a sort of newsworthy sports moment this past weekend, the New York Yankees acquired right-handed pitcher Jameson Taillon in a trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yankees acquiring another pitcher is like the Patriots drafting another defensive player outside the first 3 rounds. No matter how many random players they get, both will never win a championship. Or another championship, I should say. Newly acquired center for the Houston Rockets, Boogie Cousins, showed up against the Dallas Mavericks with a 28-point, 17-rebound, and 5-assist game that showed flashbacks of his once dominant past. It's too bad that their bench still sucks and won't make it past the second round this time around in the playoffs. It was announced this past Sunday that President Biden would be lifting the Pentagon's ban on transgender people serving the military. This is another step in the Biden administration of moving forward with unity. As that happened, it felt as though millions of people in the Deep South went extinct. Get it? Because people of the Deep South hate just about anything that isn't straight, tough, male, religious, and Republican. It was announced Monday that former White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders will be running for governor of Arkansas in 2022. It's going to be hard to get any sort of endorsement from anyone who isn't her dad after her own party and former boss caused a domestic raid of one of the most powerful buildings in the world. Huckabee Sanders thinking she'd win is like any hard Republican thinking that whatever fake news conspiracy they share on Fox News will help their case in any positive way. What was funny this past weekend was the viral altercation between comedian and actor Seth Rogen Yeah, that's his name. Seth Rogen. And Texans clown himself, Ted Cruz, as people all over Twitter found them getting into an argument late last week over the Paris Climate Agreement and Disney's Fantasia. Could only imagine what this would be like in public, as Rogen would be laughing so much that he wouldn't be able to let Cruz get out how much he loves Trump and something negative about Rogan's family, just like he did in an argument with Chris Cuomo and CNN a few weeks ago. Boomsh! As I stumbled that was a funny joke when I wrote it. Boomsh! Another sports story that was a bit of a head-scratcher, to say the least, involved legendary Duke men's basketball head coach Mike Krzyzewski in a student reporter this past weekend. Coach K would caught some flack, after giving a harsh response towards a question being asked after the basketball team suffered a third straight loss against Louisville, making the record 5-5. Coach K getting mad is like a toddler with an angry face. You can't really take it seriously. Boomsh! It was a big day for singer Adele, as her immensely successful album 21 celebrated its 10-year anniversary this past weekend. We're told that accomplished Adele couldn't believe it all. What Adele also couldn't believe is how much she had been forgotten after she had spent all this time away. Adele nowadays is like Trump after Biden's inauguration. After getting banned on every social media platform, no one cares about him anymore. Boomsh! According to Forbes.com, over the weekend, SpaceX launched a rocket that had a total of 143 satellites. You heard it right, 143 satellites, which is told to be the most ever on a single mission. I didn't even fucking finish the joke. What the fuck? No one cares about that. Sorry. In the technology world, I read something bizarre. It's completely bizarre when I read it. According to an article I saw online, Microsoft supposedly wants to build chatbots out of dead people's data. In 10 years, you'll be able to read a text conversation between Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor talk about their affair they had decades ago. I should do it again. In the technology world, I read something bizarre, truly bizarre. According to an article I saw online, Microsoft supposedly wants to build chatbots out of dead people's data. In 10 years, you'll be able to read a text conversation between Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor as they talk about the affair they had decades ago. Boomsh! That's if you can understand Brando while he's not mumbling about how Jewish people run Hollywood again and under all that heavy weight he's carrying around, and if you can understand Pryor while he's shaking. What was one of the biggest highlights of the inauguration was the independent senator from Vermont himself, Bernie Sanders, and the meme he became over the weekend. After being captured on camera sitting with his oversized coat and new mittens, people across the world were creating thousands of memes of Sanders, famous movies, television shows, at famous sporting events, on people's clothes, and so much more. People were interested in this and Sanders' two failed runs at the presidency. That's our monologue for this week's episode. Stay tuned as we'll be right back with our guest for this week's episode, Hossam Zaki. Back, everyone, to another episode of the Ice-T Meme Show podcast with yours truly, NoLdAwG, episode number 8. Last time I did this, I thought it was episode 8, but it is episode 7. Well, this week, as I said at the beginning, it keeps getting better and better, as I say, with guests. And, I want to preface a little bit. I originally was going to have someone on episode 7, and they bitched out and said all this stuff about needing time to adapt and stuff. So I had to move up a few people. And Hossam was my next guest was definitely going to be on, but was going to be on for a few weeks. So I'm glad that he reached out to me, not the other way around, saying, if you need any guests, I'll gladly come on. And I was thinking maybe I'll have him on as one of the few people that I have left that I still somewhat conversed with from high school that hasn't dropped me like a bad habit. Everyone, welcome onto the show, my dear old friend, Hossam Zaki.
Yo, I'm honored to be on, Nolan. Honored to be on.
This is great. But before I do, is there anything you want to plug? Any social media accounts, any websites, anything like that you want to plug out for people?
I mean, I launched this college advising website. You can check out realcollegeboss.com. And if you want to learn more about me, I mean, I have a website, hossamzaki.com, literally just my name and then .com, fancy like that, And yeah, that's it. And of course, the Ice-T Meme Show. How can I not plug that?
Oh yes. See that's in the 8 guests or 9 guests I've had 2 people on at once. The most professional, entrepreneurially, like with all the different handles and stuff compared to the other people. See when I do this, I've tried to adapt and improve this. But I want to say for those who are viewing this on YouTube, my brief little spiel, my whatever you want to call it. Now I'll stop that bullshit. If you're watching this on YouTube, follow on YouTube at the Ice-T Meme Show with NoLdAwG on YouTube. It's also there's an Instagram account, the Ice-T Meme Show, Twitter, Ice-T Meme Show with NoLdAwG. Both accounts update when a new episode drops, before it drops, after it drops, and thanking the guest. There's also, if you're listening to this just the audio because you're too much of a schmuck to watch it, it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, SoundCloud, all that. The same name, the Ice-T Meme Show, drops every Thursday. give it a like, subscribe, follow, share, do all that fun jazz so we can blow this up like like Japan during World War II.
Bro, if you're listening to this on Spotify right now, just switch over to YouTube and
Yeah,
like hit
switch over. Yeah,
subscribe. Honestly, and if you're on YouTube watching this right now, go over to Spotify and
yes.
just follow it on
You
Spotify.
see, this is why I love him. This is why I was looking forward to him so much, because he helps out. He knows
Bro,
exactly
I
what to
got
say.
you, dude.
He's got the business sense more than me. And see, the thing is, what I want to say, which I can get to, and which I can get to quickly, is I think it was when I was messaging the other day prior to texting, and I looked on Instagram. I checked your website out to see what he does, and I was really impressed on your website and how it looked, because it was way more fucking professional than what I created through Wix. And mine's okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for that shit, and I tried my hardest. But I saw yours. I was like, damn, this guy's got all sorts of shit that but hey, that's you. You're wired differently mentally than I am.
I mean, I'm studying computer science and biology, so I
Well, yeah,
kind
that
of like
helps.
learn a little bit of that. That definitely helps. But to be honest, it's literally just like templates online.
Yeah.
You smush some templates together and you got a website.
Yeah, I've always been the type of person, when I see a lot of all that shit, my brain starts freaking out. I have to bow out faster than the plane crashing. But what I want to get to briefly, like we had mentioned before, prior to starting this, COVID. Now, like you said, you're home for the entire junior year. No, now I'd make a joke about me acting like I'm a little TikTok, but I can't do it because I get canceled faster than who knows what. But no, so never mind. That goes out the window. But what I will ask then though is for you though, what's it been like though dealing with both waves of the pandemic, like compared from first to now, the second wave that seems
Yeah,
more deadly?
man. I mean, like over like in March, right? We were like all my friends, we were just realizing, yeah, like it's not a matter of if we get kicked off campus, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
And I had already like planned out what my summer was going to be like.
Yeah.
I had like two options on the table. I was going to go to Switzerland over the summer because
wow.
like the summer before that I went to the UK, which we can probably talk about later.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to like see Europe and all that kind of stuff. And then I like was interviewing for this like position to do like software engineering in the Bay Area because I've never been to the Bay Area. I definitely really wanted to go. So I was like in the middle of the interview process for that. And like it seemed like I was going to get an offer because like one of the like team members said like, oh, like we'd love to have you on the team. Like I'll contact HR and we can get all the paperwork sorted and stuff like that. And then like one thing led to another. Like we got the email, we had to get off campus in like 3 days. Thankfully, like we live 30 minutes away, so it was a pretty easy move. But yeah, like when I like the first 2 weeks or something, I got a call from the group leader in like the Bay Area, and they're like, yeah, like we can't have you anymore. We have a hiring freeze. So that kind of sucked. And then Switzerland, same thing. Like there was like the travel ban, and it was just like unsafe, and everybody was working remotely over there. So that went to the bin as well. But thankfully, I had some backup plans. I wanted to like either work at Brown at my lab again, because like I do a lot of like biology and computer science research, or I worked at I got into a program at this institute called the Broad Institute, which is in Boston, and they do a ton of like cancer research and a lot of like AI type shit. Can I swear on this or
yes?
Or what? Okay, cool.
Definitely, 100%. That's what we're made for. There's a lot of snowflakes out here. I have these two lights in my room, these ring lights, and it was around Christmas time. My mother was setting up the Christmas decorations, and she wanted to put in the little lights you put in the camera or the windows. And I said, no, I can do it. And she came and she saw this, and one thing led to her. She's like, oh, just make sure it's you're not doing anything bad, and it's PG. I'm like to myself, who the fuck cares if it is? See, I'm not this Joe Rogan motherfucker who has to watch out what he says and doesn't offend the far right or far left. But no, I curse like a sailor in here, so I don't care. But no, go ahead.
All right, so that's good to know. I can swear because that's kind of been a part of my vocabulary now. So so I got into this program at the Broad Institute, and they do a lot of like cancer biology, a lot of like computer science type stuff. And thankfully, they kept the program going. So like I was able to do some work over there over the summer, which was really great. Um, but obviously, I mean, really wanted to go to Switzerland because like I really enjoyed Europe when I went over the summer summer of 2019. That was really great. But yeah, I mean, that was like, I mean, the summer was fine. It was pretty cool to learn all that stuff. And then it came down to September, and it was like, okay, should I like go on campus or should I like stay home and like do whatever I gotta do? So, like we got like the bill for like tuition, and obviously tuition at Brown is extremely
Oh yeah.
it's crazy. I mean, we can definitely I can talk like hours about that
Yeah.
because it's pretty much theft. But like anyway, so we got a tuition bill for that, and like if we had stayed remote, we would have saved like an extremely
Oh yeah.
like a huge amount of money if I just stayed home. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm not gonna go to Brown because they're just gonna jip all my money to
Yeah.
stay in some
Definitely.
shitty ass dorm. So I'm just gonna stay home and like I have my mom's food, like whatever. It's just I'm does the job, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay
Exactly.
here.
Exactly like myself. I mean that was like me where I lived on campus the last 2 years, not this past year, last year and the year prior, and my one of my good friends and a few other friends were living together. I didn't make the cut, or I was the person who knew the landlord didn't want me to live with them, which I thought was pretty fucked up. Fuck that cunt. And
Yeah.
I was like, whatever, fuck that. So I lived at home, mother's food. My parents are divorced, so I go between both houses, and my father's he's okay, not special, but does what he does. And I saved thousands of dollars. I think I paid last year. I paid like $717 for the semester just because living on campus, regardless of where you're going, is an extreme amount of
Oh yeah.
money. But definitely with Brown though is I would
It's
it's like
ridiculous. It's
a
freaking
theft.
ridiculous. It's actually theft. Like so to like tuition at Brown, I think in total for this year, counting room and board and everything, is like $78,000. And keep
Board,
in
room and board.
room no room like I mean everything including room and board is
Oh,
78,000.
so like the tuition in general.
Yeah, exactly,
Ugh.
exactly. And over 50%, so I think 54% of the people at Brown pay full tuition,
Oh,
which is ridiculous.
oh, that's
And like
terrible.
I'm like most of my friends, I mean not most of them, like I would say like half or a little less than half of them pay like full tuition. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But like hey, I mean if you got the bag, you secured the bag,
Yeah.
go for it. Like send it, honestly, send it.
If you're
But
living,
yeah, I mean I'm definitely blessed to have like
oh,
been
yeah,
in a place that like I mean I can stay home, I don't have to
yeah,
go back to school, so stuff like that. So I'm definitely pretty blessed about that.
and it's definitely definitely blessed. Also, kind of what I want to talk about next, how it affects you personally. That you have a home, you still have a home. Your parents still have a job, so you don't have to
Yeah,
worry like a lot of these other people
exactly.
across the country and world that
Oh yeah.
don't have a job and losing out on a lot of
100%,
things.
dude. 100%. I mean, it's it really is like honestly like a blessing. A
Yeah,
lot of my friends have definitely like lost their jobs and stuff.
yeah,
So it's definitely tough. Like they're like maybe their parents lost their jobs. Like one of my friends, he lives in he lives where he lives in New York City, right? And his dad
yeah.
is a taxi driver. So
Wow.
in March and April and all when like COVID was at its peak, this guy he wasn't driving at all.
Yeah,
So like it
it
was definitely
sucks.
really tough.
Yeah,
But like obviously, I'm like blessed that, like my mom's a teacher. She can
yeah,
like teach remotely. My dad's an engineer. He can like do whatever he's got to do
yeah,
remotely. So I mean, as much as I like to say, oh fuck COVID, I hate
yeah,
all of this shit, like I definitely have it a lot better than a lot of
yeah,
people, and it's important. Like, not many people recognize that. Not many
yeah,
people, especially people at Brown, bro. Like, it's like a lot of the freshmen coming in right now. They're partying all the fucking time,
yeah.
and I'm like, yo, like, I mean, I don't want to sound like
Oh no, yeah,
like a
definitely, yeah,
woke or anything, but
yeah,
like chill, bro. What
yeah.
the fuck are you doing?
Oh no,
Like,
yeah,
go like there are people out there on the streets now because like COVID just ruined their lives, and you're like, privileged enough
Yeah.
to like go to Brown, go to a party and all that sort of shit. Like, dude, like calm the fuck
Well,
down.
there's a lot of people, and I'm not, I don't want to economically profile anybody. Well, I mean, I will, but you have a lot of people, who've gone to big time schools like that, and you've seen the news the last almost year. Schools like UNC, PC, and all these other schools who are kicking kids out just because they haven't followed the guidelines, and they're keeping the tuition. And I remember when I read about UNC, they kicked 11 kids out permanently, and they kept the tuition. And you have a lot of these people also, in areas of the country, predominantly down south, in the deep south, who don't believe in this. I think it's some hoax, and they're not taking it seriously. And it's the population like Florida, where they're not doing anything about it to change it, and they don't want to. Yet they suddenly realize and shut up when it really affects them. And I think that it's going to be rough. I think it's going to get better. I mean, who knows with the current strain in South Africa
Yeah.
and Europe and UK that they're finding, but it's definitely something. And I remember last summer or last year when it was going on. It was the summertime, and I work at a day or a summer camp, a day camp at the Guild in Wakefield, and we do it at Tuckertown Field and Curtis Corner and so on and so forth. And we almost didn't have it because COVID, and we're not on top of each other like a basketball game or wrestling match, but we were close. We were close together, and we usually go on field trips and so on and so forth, and go to the beach. And we couldn't do any of that. We couldn't go on the playgrounds. It was rough, and I was really nervous about not having it because I don't work during the school year because of school, and I can't focus with that. And it just was rough. And we eventually had it, but it really, once we had it, even wearing a mask and not be able to go on field trips, and so on and so forth, I really took it more for granted. I took it more for granted because, or whatever the correct term would be, because something as small as that's only from late June to early September. It means a lot to me, regardless of COVID. But stuff like health should be taken more seriously, and it's ridiculous that something like this became a political statement. But whatever, I'm healthy, my family's healthy.
Yeah.
Hopefully you and your family are healthy, which is the big difference. As someone who like you said, biology is one of your majors. Do you think the current medical and healthcare procedures that they're taking for COVID, whether it be government or whatever it may be, is the a good way of doing it? Like, what's your stance on?
Well, I would say, like, I think it's a little bit like tough, right? Because the most important thing is like everyone should wear masks.
Yeah.
Like that's an important thing. And unfortunately, like you can't like have a total countrywide mandate because I don't think you can do that in the US.
Yeah.
But, like if you could do that, then like that would be extremely useful. But like in April or May or something, when states just started opening up hella early, that just ruined everything, right? And like in the summer, people are like moving around and like doing like like going to Florida and stuff. Like I mean, I saw a lot of pictures of people at like spring break, or not even spring break, like summer break in Florida on the beaches and stuff like that, not wearing masks, not doing whatever. Like they should have like kind of cracked down on that. And like even right now, right, people are extremely like they're like done with it. Like I am personally, like I am a victim of this. I'm done with this shit. I want to go back to normal. I want to walk out without having to wear a mask and all that stuff. But like it's for the good of yourself and it's for the good of other people. And I feel like people are willing to, I mean, this is like human nature, right? People more likely than not, focus more on the short-term benefits rather than the long-term benefits. Right. Like right now, if you could, go and like visit your friend, like you're gonna have a ton of fun. You're gonna like play like video games or whatever you do. Like, long term, one of you guys, like if one of you guys is like asymptomatic or something, long term it's fucked. So, I mean that like this is inherent human nature. Humans are like wired to focus more on the short term rather than the long term. And like it's something like that I have been trying to like look at for myself. It's like it's even something as simple as you wanting to like get up from your bed, right? You're extremely tired, but it's like I don't know, like I mean I'm late, like I wake up kind of late because I sleep like super late. So like for me, if
Oh,
I like
you want to talk
yeah,
about
so
sleeping late? I go to quick sidetrack. The entire break and until the summer before I
mhm.
started working, bedtime for me was 4:30 in the morning. I wouldn't wake up till about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Like I mean, I would sleep or like 4:30. Like I mean, I sleep 4:30 now, to be honest. It's just better. Like I feel like I work better at night. But
Yeah,
then like I wake up around like 12, right?
yeah.
But like if I'm at my bed and I'm awake at like 11:30 or something, I could tell myself like, oh, I could like sleep right now for like 30 minutes and it's gonna feel so good. But
Yeah.
like that's like the short-term benefit. But the
Yeah.
long-term benefit is like if I sleep now for 30 seconds, or sorry, for 30 minutes, I'm gonna be waking up in like the middle of like a sleep cycle, and I'm gonna be waking up so groggy and
Oh
so
yeah,
like
definitely.
have a headache and all that sort of stuff. So it's like the long term versus the short term, and it's yeah, it's definitely tough to really think about. But
And
I
you,
definitely like yeah.
and you have to, and with that though, and I realize it all the time myself, is that then it's, if you do that, you sleep for the extra 30 minutes, then your body is getting continue to getting adjusted to that, and it's hard to break that cycle. So I
Yep.
know, and because I know specifically the last week, with classes starting for the semester here at URI, my earliest class is 10 a.m. And so I try to get myself to get up and ready an hour beforehand. And I tried to wake up every day around 9 o'clock, 9:30. And I'd always be like, no, I'm going to just go back to sleep. And of course, I'd sleep
Mm-hmm.
half the day. And then I got up this morning and it was 9 o'clock, and I was out of it, and it was hard adjusting to that. And I didn't get up until 9:30, and I was kind of close to the bell for that 10 a.m. class, but it's hard getting used to. But like you said, short term effects. We all care about nowadays. It's short term impact, and us personally rather than as a large group. Well, what I want to converse next is, like I mentioned, Brown. How I definitely didn't say said it was in Massachusetts, and now it was in Rhode Island, and which won't be edited out. I'll keep that in for
Bro, I'm surprised you said that because you're
Yes.
living in Rhode Island.
Yes, yes. No, I just because I was going over it when I was, because I spent a few days going over writing down notes, and for some reason I thought it was I had just got that and Harvard confused, and I was it's embarrassing thinking about, because there's no excuse. It's like there's this guy who I followed on Twitch, and and I'm you probably know what Twitch is, and there's this guy who I follow in there, and this guy there these roles on there when the people stream called moderators, and this guy asked people to apply for them if you wanted to be one, and I said fuck it, why not? And I was serious in the application. I got it only because the guy said I was being super serious, which I was trying to be. And he was playing Rocket League, wherever it was, and he wanted us to do a prediction for channel points. And one of them was like, oh, if he's gonna score, or no, it was Fortnite, if he's gonna get 2.5 kills or more, or under, and I didn't know what under or over 2.5 was. I'm not a betting man, and I'm not that great at math, and so I just didn't know what it was, and I'd mess up, and I would never do the bet because I just didn't know what it was, and I looked it up, and I said, oh, okay, so I got it, and then I started to do better at it, and I was using it as an excuse that I didn't know what it was, but I could have easily looked it up similar to this, and it was just embarrassing. Anyways, you go to Brown, which is in Rhode Island, and what was your, for those who don't know what it was, because most of my viewers I don't think know who you are. What was the deciding factors to go to Brown?
Yeah, so I had applied to Brown's 8-year medical program. So it's like if I get into Brown, I also get into the medical school at Brown. So like thankfully I got into that, which was like really, really amazing. But at the same time, like I got into an 8-year medical program at like University of Rochester. So it's like the same thing. Like if you get in, you get your like bachelor's and you get your medical
Oh,
school
wow.
degree. Then I like the other schools were like Northwestern, like Duke, and like Johns Hopkins, and like I got waitlisted at like some Ivies, but like I felt like I could I felt I could make a decision right now, and I feel like it was pretty easy to make Brown like the deciding factor, because like the combined degree is like I don't have to take the MCAT, which like if you don't know is like the SAT to get into medical school
Oh,
pretty
okay,
much.
okay.
And you don't have to take all of these like shitty ass requirements. Like you have to take English and like physics and all
Yeah.
of these like shitty classes to have the pre-med requirements and stuff like that. And like it kind of like took the load off of me, having to get like the best of like grades and like all
Yeah.
that, and like having like the toppest of the top like GPA, I guess. So I kind of like learned for fun. Like it kind of, it made me
Yeah.
want to take stuff that I actually enjoyed. So it was a pretty easy choice, having gone into the 8th year medical program. But like,
to get into that? What was the process for getting into or applying to the school?
So, like it honestly goes back to like freshman year of high school, because like all throughout high school I was just like a grinder. Like I never stopped. Like I mean, I kind of, not gonna lie, I kind of like regret this a little bit, that I didn't really like take advantage of like everything that high school had to offer for me.
Yeah.
Which we can probably like talk about later. But like I was just a grinder. Like I grinded so hard in high school. Like if a teacher gave me an A-, yo, like I'm going up to the teacher. I'm like, yo, fuck you. Give me like, what the fuck's going on?
Hell yeah.
So I was that kind of like, I was that kid.
No. Yeah.
You know, and yeah, obviously you were there, so you know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So I've been grinding in high school. Like I worked at like different research labs in high school. Like I worked, like in sophomore summer, I worked in Boston, and I used to take the commuter rail every single day to go to Boston to work at some biology lab. So that was crazy. Same thing in like summer of junior year. I used to take the commuter rail, or I used to take the RIPTA to Boston to Providence and work at a lab over there, just to like help, boost out the resume and stuff like that.
For sure.
So yeah, I mean, but it was all like stuff that I was actually like pretty fun. Like, I mean, working, like traveling to Boston as a 16-year-old.
Oh yeah, that's
every
amazing.
single day. Like it was so fun. Like it was like you actually got to see what it was like to, like have independence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I was definitely blessed to like my parents weren't, tiger moms, or like I see so many people at Brown and their parents.
I can't hear you. I lost your I can't hear you anymore. Your lips are moving, but you've gone mute. You might need to do sign language now. Speak again. I can. Oh,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Excellent.
Yo, what the? All right, give me a sec.
I'll give you a second. There you go.
All right, bro. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you now perfectly.
Oh, I can't hear you, dude. What the fuck is going on? I can't hear you. Wait, you can edit this out, right?
Oh, I'll edit this out.
Yeah. Okay, sick.
We don't want any dead air in this. We gotta take it to the moon like Buzz Aldrin.
All right, can you say something?
Hello, testing.
Bro, what? Oh shit, I'm stupid. All right, wait. Can you? All right, wait.
Testing.
Give me a sec. Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Bro, I was mad. I was being so you can edit this out, right?
Yes, I'll edit this out.
Bro, this is some crazy. Bro, why is? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay, great. All right, where did I stop?
You stopped at so your parents weren't freaking out that you were going to Boston, and then some parents that you were tiger parents.
Yeah, like my parents were mad chill. Like they, I mean they just let me do whatever I wanted to be honest. Like, which was like definitely really blessed, and that's kind of why I went like high school. I wasn't like super stressed and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, then came senior year. I started grinding on like college applications and like
hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah.
Hi. It was good. Yeah. Okay. I'm back.
All right, cool. So, summer of junior year, I just honestly started grinding on like college applications and shit like that. Like I started like writing up the essays in summer of in the like July or something. I was gonna take the SAT in August, so I've been like I was grinding on that like
Yeah.
Khan Academy literally every single day. Like I was a grinder, and like thankfully, you know, it all paid off because like that was the school I wanted to get into.
Oh yeah.
Like that was the program that I wanted to get into since like um freshman year or something like that. Like, I mean, I didn't care that, you know, I got waitlisted at like all these different Ivy Leagues and shit like that. But like, I was just so happy that I got into like this program because that was like literally the top of my list. And yeah, I mean, I'm loving it. But
Well, I
I
mean,
can talk a little bit about like my experiences at Brown and like.
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, we can. Yeah, if yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah, we can talk about that now if you want. But what I wanted to go back and say is, like, if you're like going to Boston every day or
Yeah.
Providence every day on the RIP to, you know, during your summertime where most kids are relaxing, if you're enjoying that and that's what you want to do, then you know it's so enjoyable. And it's, you know, it's unfortunate that nowadays most people, you know, our age or younger don't do that because, you know, that was a popular thing. Go to the day to this place and that place, and you know, if you're really enjoying it, if you're enjoying going to the school where, you know, the standards are you know, pretty high academically, whatever it may be, you know, it doesn't matter as long as you're enjoying it and doing the work. That's fine. But what I wanted to discuss, what you can, if you can discuss, you know, the workload, you know, the day, like the workload for, you know, being a student at Brown, or, you know, the experience it's like going to a school like that compared to any other one that's not as big.
I mean, like when I first went to Brown, I thought that like I was gonna kill myself with the workload and stuff like that. And
Did you say you were gonna kill yourself because of the workload?
No. Like like the workload was gonna like I don't cancel me. Don't cancel me.
Hashtag 2021 cancel culture.
So like I mean I thought I was gonna go crazy with the workload that I was getting anyway. So like my first semester, I took this like Arabic class because I wanted to improve my Arabic. I took this like Portuguese and Brazilian studies class because I had to get like a writing class in.
Yeah.
And I took a computer science class and I took a chemistry class. And like the weird thing at Brown is we don't do credits, right?
Oh.
All other schools do credits. We just do classes. And you have to graduate with like 30 classes under your belt. And it's like you take like 4 classes a semester.
Okay.
So I came to my advisor. I was like, oh, I want to take these classes. And my advisor was like, yo, you're going to be working so hard. You're going to be pulling all-nighters every single day, all that sort of shit. And like, I'm looking back, like, I don't think I barely worked freshman year, to be honest. Like, I'm looking back, I said, what the hell was I doing? Why did I listen to this freaking stupid woman trying to tell me what to take? And it was just so like that semester was so easy.
Now for the viewers at home who may know who I am, I mean, I have about 5 subscribers, but the people who out there who listen to and know me know that I work at a certain level. But the people who may have gone to school with us know that you're a very smart guy. So you going easy and not trying that hard could have been very hard, extremely hard for someone like me who's missing a few cells upstairs. But no, I hate when they do it. The college advisors, not the actual department advisors or like the major advisors. All the ones who got a degree in communications or whatever else it is. But they're like, oh, you gotta take this class and that class, and you gotta do this class, and you can't do this before this. You gotta have this certain grade to get into this field, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're here 9 to 5. Get the hell out of here. You know, stop making my life.
Yeah, bro.
And it was like, and I remember I don't know if it was the end of my freshman year or during my freshman year or it was sophomore year, where I hadn't gone into the College of Art and Sciences yet at URI. It was just still University College. And the guy who was my major for the communications field was, you know, a very, you know, meant well, I'm sure, but very odd guy, you know, very serious, and would yell and, you know, kind of be a mean type of person. And it was like, what are you doing? Like, you're making me nervous saying I need to take all these classes and this one's better than this one. And then at one point they had changed the building around, and usually you would have to sign in online for an appointment, and then you show up to the building, you wait outside the guy's room. Well, they changed it where you had to check in first after you made the appointment. Then once you got there before the appointment, you had to check in at the front desk, and then they'd call him, and then you go over. I didn't know that, and I went over, and he's like reaming me out when I'm waiting there because I first waited at the original building. He moved rooms, so I waited there for like 40 minutes. And then I went upstairs and I waited again, and there was like 5 minutes left for our meeting. And he was like, well, what are you doing? You're supposed to check in. Did you check in? I said, no. He goes, that's what you're supposed to do. If you don't know, just ask. And I'm like, bruh, I'm 18, 19, 20 years old, and you're doing this to me, bruh. I'm going to be making a hell of a lot more money than you are, sir. And there's no need to be doing this. But it's annoying to do that, for your freshman year to, it's kind of ridiculous. But did the workload increase, though, going to sophomore year and junior year?
Like for some classes it did. For some classes it definitely did. But like overall, I wouldn't say it's like, I have to pull all-nighters every single day.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. Like this is kind of one of the problems that I've had with like the Ivy League and stuff like that. Is that I feel like, the stuff that you learn is more or less going to be the same at like different, at different institutions, right? Like if I'm taking computer science, like there's only one way to use Python or to write Python. Like if you're learning biology, there's only one thing that there's like that encompasses like all human bodies. Like that's
definitely.
Like the cell, right? Like at every single school, it's not like they're gonna teach like a cell a different way.
Yeah, you can do that in sports, but you can't do it with stuff like that.
Yeah, like I feel this is so the content's always going to be the same, but you're just going to be paying for the name, I guess. Like like you're going to be graduating with like a Brown University degree, but I mean, definitely some classes the workload was crazy. I took this I took organic chemistry like level 1 and level 2. Like level 2 was ridiculous. The workload for that, like it wasn't just he didn't assign homeworks or problem sets or anything like that. It was just the exams were hard as dicks, bro. Like it was so
hard as dicks,
bro. Like
I've never experienced that type of physical feeling before. Somebody feeling
dude, like
dicks. But
let me explain. So he would give you this test, and like you look through the test, like, yo, this shit is mad easy. Then you would fill out the homework and you fill out the exam, and then you get it back. And you would make like one tiny mistake, like, oh, maybe like you put like an arrow to going to like the atom or the symbol instead of the bond itself or something like that, because like it's movement of electrons or whatever. He'd give you like -10 if it's just a tiny ass mistake. And I'm like, yo, what? Like, chill, bro. Like on my first quiz for that class, I messed up on like the arrow, and it was out of 10. The professor gave me -8 for that, so I got a 20 on that quiz. And I was like, yeah.
You got an 80. You got 80 points off of 80% of that wrong, although it's barely any.
Yeah, bro.
And that's like, I'm not scientific or mathematically inclined. I'm more the arts and that type of stuff, humanities. And I remember my freshman year, I had a writing class, and I was writing a paper, and I did fine in high school. But my mother, wrote a book, so she knew how to do that stuff. And in college, I asked sometimes, on the rare occasion I will ask for help, but I wrote it, and I thought it was fine. Not that many errors, besides maybe grammatical and X here, X down here, 4 sentences later, this. It's so crazy. I ended up getting although the story was good, I ended up getting like a 70 or like 65, and she would do that for everybody though. Everyone would have more red marks on the paper than someone with polka dots on their face. It was rough, and there was a few instances where there was only like 2 people that would consistently get 85s and above, and everyone else would get like a 75 and below. And she was a wild person. Man. Would you though? When I want to dive off to another point, for now being a junior and upperclassman at Brown, would you what would you say to kids applying to schools to get them to come to Brown? Would you recommend it? What would you say to them about the school?
So, okay, there's two sides to this, right? If you're looking at the educational side, I think you would be better off saving your money and like going to state school. That's something that's 100%, that's like 100% my opinion on the topic. But if you're thinking about it in terms of like careers and opportunities and like what kind of doors open for you, then like the name 100% matters. Um, so like if like you'll obviously like you know you will be like completely fine going to like a state school, and like honestly looking back, like I should have probably thought twice, but I mean I don't know. Like it's something that I kind of think about in my head
Yeah.
about like how much money my parents have spent on
Oh
like,
yeah.
tuition and shit versus like the education or like what have I actually gotten out of it. But I think really what you're paying for in the end of the day is like the doors that open for you.
Yeah.
Because like if you apply to like a company in the Bay Area and you're from Brown, that's more or less like an instant like interview or something
Yeah.
like that. If you apply to grad school or something and you went from went from Brown or something, that's also like a pretty
Yeah.
huge thing. But like in terms of what you know, I like there are some dumbos at Brown. There are some real dumbos at Brown. And like I always say this, that I feel like the hardest thing about the Ivy League is getting in, to be
Yeah.
honest. You know, like I like yeah, there are actually some real dumbos at Brown. Like it's like I don't wanna come off as being like arrogant. Like I'm
Oh
not an
no,
arrogant
no,
guy,
I
like,
definitely understand that. It's
yeah.
definitely somewhere. A lot of people who have had the short bus to go to Brown is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, like that. I mean, like some of these dumbos like went to like Phillips Exeter or Andover or Moses Brown,
Oof.
and they just like have all this. They have all this money, and that's
Yeah.
how they got in, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like if like it's kind of it's
Yeah.
kind of like ridiculous. But
Well,
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care because I'm at Brown. I'm
Yeah.
using these opportunities, and like if you want to go to Brown, if anyone listening to this wants to go to Brown, just like grind, and once you're there, like make
Yeah.
sure you get your money's worth. Like that's the biggest thing.
Now I hope my viewers, the majority of my viewers aren't under the age of 18 and aren't
Yeah, true.
that would be I hear knocking at my door saying asking why I'm preaching to younger people, but so hopefully that's not the case. But without further ado, we're going to now face, for those who are joining us new, this NoLdAwG here on the IST Meme Show podcast with Hossam Zaki, talking about Brown, talking about COVID, talking about life itself. And now, for those who are just listening, can't see, we're now going to switch over to the video portion where I'll have my dear friend Hossam Zaki react to some videos that I have shared over the last few weeks. Today, or last night, or early this morning, I added some new ones to spice it a little bit. These videos will be short, 2 minute, like 2.5 minutes or less, and I'll have what I have you do, Hossam, is I'll have watch, and occasionally I'll add some dialogue to explain it. I'll give a little explanation before and after, and then I'll have you rank at the end who was the coolest out of all of them and who was the least coolest. So
sounds good.
Let's click this.
Looking forward to it.
Let's click share. What I will do is I will have you I'll just ask you like if you can hear it when I'm playing that, okay?
Sure.
Good morning, Julia.
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
Okay, so this guy's name is Joe, and I follow this podcast called Your Mom's House, and on it there's this couple who run it called, their names are Tom Segura and Christina P. And on their podcast, they're very edgy. They go up to the line, look it over, and sometimes step over and cross it. A lot of dark type of stuff, like my type of humor, stuff that may not be politically correct, and it's hysterically funny, but it's almost like, should they have said that? Anyways, they played this video. This guy named Joe. He's a carpenter, a handyman. He was going to this gym, a Planet Fitness type of place, and he saw this very attractive girl, like anyone else would, and he wanted to ask her out. He paid so much attention to her that he found out who she was on the clipboard, a sign-in sheet. And after that, he walked down and said, "Hey, I think you're very gorgeous. Can I take you out on a date?" She said, "Yeah, sure, maybe." And afterwards, what happened was, he asked for her phone number, and she said, "You know what? Maybe I should take your phone number." She said, "Fine." He plugged his phone number into her contacts app, and after pressing enter, he pressed the phone button on there, so that it called on his phone, but it ended. So then he had it in there, so he could just saved the
Trying to
number.
be smooth.
So he saved the number and he texted her this video the next day.
Good morning, Julia. It's me, Joe. Just wanted to say hi. Wish you a great day. Tell you that meeting you yesterday and getting a look at you was probably one of the greatest moments of my life. You
Wait,
were
hold
so
on. The video kind
beautiful.
of like paused. Like it's I can hear it, but I can't.
You don't know
see
how
it.
beautiful you are to me.
Wait, can you see it?
Now I can. Now I
I mean,
can.
just
Yeah.
you're gorgeous. You're precious. And but it's been sitting in my mind when you said to me you want to go back with your ex-boyfriend. Please erase him from your memory. Don't ever go back in the past. I know, because I've been there, and I understand when you're trying to find somebody and you go on dates, and nothing compares to your ex. But there is that better person out there, and Julia, I promise you, it is me. I will love you like you've never been loved before. I will cherish you. I'll make you feel like a woman, a real woman.
Hold on. If you can look, if you can look though for a second, he's got 2 fans in the kitchen. 2 ceiling fans in the kitchen.
And believe me, after you experience
Wait,
me,
so hold up.
you want
Wait, he's a carpenter, right?
Like a handyman. I don't know his whole story, but he's a carpenter handyman type person.
to know who your ex-boyfriend is.
So there's 2
So-
fans.
Wait,
Look
dude,
to
it
it.
paused. It paused.
Oh.
I can't. It paused again.
Put up your heart to me in your arms.
And there's another fan. If you can see, he's got 3 fans on one floor.
Wait, it paused. Like
Let's
I
go
can't.
full-
I can't see him move.
Throttle to me in your arms.
Can you see it now?
No, still can't.
Let's go
Can you like? What about like refreshing the page or something?
I'll refresh the page.
Wait, hold up. Your mom's house interviewed the real Julia?
Yeah.
Oh
Good
my
morning, Julia.
god!
Me, Joe.
So wait, can you see it now?
Just wanted to say hi. Wish
Okay,
you a great
yeah,
day.
it's cutting. It's like sort of cutting in and out. So
Okay,
Let's go.
so I'll pause it and I'll just say briefly at the end he says, "Let's go full throttle."
full throttle.
Let's go full throttle. I want to take you out. And he goes, "Ciao, baby." And he gives her a kiss and he goes,
No way did he do that. No
he
way.
did that to the video. So what happened afterwards, he sent that to her. And then the podcast, Your Mom's House, they end up contacting the lady Julia. And she goes on, says the 100% correct, official, authentic story of what happened. He then, after this, sends her another video. They didn't go on a date. He sends her another video, then making it seem like they are dating. And then eventually, I think after she got that text message, she said, fuck this. I'm getting out of there, psycho. And I think blocked him and got rid of him. But let's just
The thing that's really putting me off the most about this video is his his beard, like the area under his lip is like full of hair. Like I've never seen that before.
Yeah, he's
I've only seen that on like GTA. Like I've never actually seen that on like a real human. Like what? Like it's literally full of hair and it's like an island across his entire face. So that's like the thing that's really putting me off.
GTA. But no, this is the guy. But he's, I mean, hypothetical. If there was a girl that you liked, you saw her, is this the way you would try to go out with her and go on a date with her?
No, definitely not.
Why not? It seems like a perfectly logical reason.
I mean, okay, I mean, maybe like this guy is probably like a little bit desperate. He hasn't, he
in his
just
30s.
hasn't had any interaction with the females.
Yeah.
So I mean, I commend. Okay, something that I definitely like respect about this guy is he definitely has pretty big balls to send her.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
video.
You think?
He's a little bit of a freak for doing that,
Yeah.
and it's really like a pretty creepy video.
Oh yeah.
But you need to have some serious balls to actually send that. So
well, and the thing is though, it started off sort of fine, saying, "Oh, I saw you yesterday, and that made my day, and you're so nice and beautiful, you're attractive. It's great." And then it started to get closer to the end of the diving board, and then after a while, after it, he jumps off the diving board and plunges down to the bottom of the water and floats up. And it was just, I haven't really watched the entirety of the second video. I can play it later, and next time you come on the show, whenever that may be, I can play that. But I mean, it's it's something, and it's just there's something about in the next video. It's kind of I'm not going to say what it is, but this guy similar to this where they think this is completely normal and fine, and that this is the way that most normal people do stuff, and it's just funny that they think this is how they operate. It's definitely something that is the next video that is it'll take you back. It'll be in your brain for a while. Let me tell you.
Time to wake up, my queen.
Can you hear it?
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
my queen above 18. Open them.
So basically, this guy, his name is Steve. He's a truck driver in the Ohio area, and he's on TikTok, and his account's called Kings and Queens Above 18. So what he'll do is he'll send out a brief video of motivation and positivity and good thoughts to women who are above the age of 18, and he'll say, "You're looking beautiful this morning. Keep it going. Get those legs out of bed and get that train running. I'll get breakfast ready for you while you get in the shower. Get you a cup of coffee that's hot and all that stuff. And I'll see you later, my beautiful queens above 18." And at first, it was completely different. At first, his videos have changed. His first videos were just like, I like them boobies, let them hang," and it was so wild. And now he's changed it. But the thing is, people have commented on his videos saying that they feel uncomfy. And this was around a day or two before Thanksgiving, that whole weekend. They're on TikTok. I don't know if you have it or seen it, where there's a way you can do videos where you can put a comment above, you can point to it and react to it, and someone said it comfy with those little star emojis, and I said, what does that mean? And I commented in that video saying, uncomfy means when a guy in his late 60s is asking girls both age to send risque videos and photos, because he also has a Snapchat, and he's like, oh yeah, send me a video of your party and how your day is going. And he said, this guy says I'm asking for disgusting photos and he must have pornography and stuff like that in his mind, and that's disgusting. This guy needs to get away. He's fucked. I'm like, why are you getting mad at me? But whatever. He's another guy who was on the podcast I watched. Without further ado, I will play the video. This is a great POV shot, though.
Time to wake up, my queen. Come on, my queen above 18. Open them beautiful eyes. There you go. You are so beautiful. I just love my queen above 18. Well, good morning. All right, my
I'm
queen.
lost for words.
I'll go down and put your breakfast on. I'll get you some nice hot cup of
I'll get you some nice cup of coffee.
I'll go down and put your breakfast on. I'll
Listen.
get you some nice hot cup of coffee. You go take your shower, and I'll meet you in the kitchen. I love you too, my queen above 18.
How sweet. Thank you.
I will see you in a little bit. Yes, you look beautiful. All right, I'll talk to you in a
This
little
is
bit.
real?
Yes, it's real. It is very real. But what he's also got merch. So he's got sweatpants.
He's got merch.
Yes, he created merch. He created a Google form where you can sign up, give your information. He'll ship you stuff in about 2 weeks, whatever it may be. And he's got black sweatshirts, sweatpants, t-shirts, muscle shirts.
Damn.
It's like K and Q in the upper right hand corner, and it's got Kings and Queens with a smiley face on the stomach, Queens above 18 on the sleeve. It's expensive too. It's like over at $20 plus $10 shipping and handling. So it's a lot of money. And I unfollowed him just because there were some who knows if it got worse. And this area, you when you're applying for a job, you want to make sure everything on your social media is up to date and it's nothing bad. And this guy is eventually. They played this on the Your Mom's House podcast, and it got so much traction that this guy's comments were getting flooded with Your Mom's House references and comments about that. So now, recently, the last probably few months, has made about a dozen or so videos about asking the lady host to show out on a date, and it's weird. But how would you assess this guy? How cool is this guy to you?
Okay, so first thing that really, I just didn't like was how he's looking he's just looking down at the camera. I'm not a fan, not a fan of that shot. Not a fan of also him being fat and without a shirt. Bro, he's old, he's without a shirt and he's looking down at the camera and he's saying that he loves me. Bro, what the fuck is going on with this video? I mean, okay, if he like I completely like hate what he's doing. What he's doing is freaky as fuck.
Yes.
But he's found a way to secure the bag.
Yes.
Which is bad. Like,
Yes.
well, how are people like this making money off of this?
And the thing is, though, also whenever he makes a video, a lot of times it's him making videos in his truck, and it's on like Android quality like service. It's awful, and he's always wearing like muscle shirts, and the shirts always look like they're ripped by the collar, so a lot of hair is sticking out. And it's a few times he's made videos where he's met people in like a Walmart when he's at a rest stop, and he's made a video saying, "I'm here with this person, say hi to the camera," and it's not like, oh, this fan wanted to do something with me, like interact with me, make a video. It almost felt like it was like a hostage type of situation. So everyone in the comment section was like, "This person's under your will. Blink if you're okay." Or, but that's that guy. This guy, this was the next one. He wasn't on the podcast. He's on TikTok, but he's nothing weird like this. Here's the next one.
Hello there all. My name is Welvis. That's right, bud. I'm Welvis, sort of a mixture between Elvis and Wolverine. And I'm as dangerous as it gets. Today I'm going to be showing you some moves I learned. So we have to crash up. Hiya, hey, 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 hiya, 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 hiya.
Oh shit.
Watch out. Hey, you better keep your lady friends safe with this guy around.
Also, they got...
Bro, this guy around, I don't think I can do shit.
You might as well just give up going after girls because he's got everyone in his back pocket.
Yeah.
Also, the claw karate.
And the claw's coming up. Don't forget, he's also half Wolverine.
That's right, baby. That's these. That's right.
Hey man, if he's about doing stuff like this, I have my full support.
Oh,
He has
yeah,
my
well-
full support.
A claw chop.
Well, the thing is, he's on TikTok doing this, and his name is Haig. He's from Australia.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's just incredible.
Elvis, you're getting a little deadlier.
Oh shit, he's getting deadlier.
That's right.
Oh, here it comes. He's got the moves.
Yeah, that's right. I'm Elvis. I'm more deadly than Wolverine or the Wombat Ring. That's right. Thank you all very much.
He does. So basically, his name is Haig the King. He's on TikTok, and he does a lot of cosplay and puppeteer work where he dresses up as the Flash and stuff like that. And he's very very unique, and he doesn't care. And he, unfortunately, around Thanksgiving, he took a break for a few months, for his mental health and to not be stressed. And then he stopped doing characters like Elvis and Welvis and Wolverine and Wombat Ring because it was cringy, as he said. And then he came back after Biden won, and he said taking another break till March. So he'll be back in March. But that's to this guy. This next one though is probably one of my favorites. It's not the exact one I had on TikTok, but this is what I found. The same guy though, Haig. Strictly Wolverine though.
Okay, bud. Where's the girl? Now we can do this the easy way or...
I like the sound effects he does with the claws.
Yeah, dude. I mean, listen. If he enjoys doing this stuff, bro, he has my full support.
Oh yeah,
I'm
definitely.
all for people doing what they enjoy.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, this is pretty. It is pretty jokes. Like, I mean, he probably got like hundreds of thousands of hits on TikTok with this.
Yes. Oh, he does.
Yeah. So it's jokes.
I'm waiting for Comic-Con. I can get a picture with him.
Or will these tell me? Make you tell me. Good.
Oh shit.
There. Really? 5 guys with guns.
Great acting.
Did a match for Wolverine claws.
See, what I've said before is this is great rule of thirds for camera work where you separate from the thirds, and he's basically off the damn screen, which is great.
Now, let's try this again, shall we? Where's the
Bro, I mean,
or the claws?
it's pretty, like, honestly, it's pretty cool. Like it's
Oh no, definitely.
like this is not my type of thing. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I probably would not do that.
Yeah.
But hey, like if there's an audience for it, I mean,
there's an
there
audience.
obviously
There's an audience for everything. I mean, you look at it and sure, the quality, audio might not in the technical part might not be the best version, but he puts a lot of work into it, costumes and he script. I'm sure he does a script and editing.
Yeah.
And he's great. But that's the end of it. He loves Wolverine, but he is accepting Wolverine. But this next guy, this is a new video that I found a few weeks ago. This next guy is Big Rob. I don't know where he's from, but he does a lot of reaction videos and him eating and stuff. So here's this one.
All right, Big Rob.
What up, YouTube?
Let's see it.
It's Big Rob. And bitches be stomping on my knob. I'm back here again. We're gonna do a review. A drink review. I've had this drink before.
So he's doing a review on a Mountain Dew drink that he's already had before, making it seem like he hasn't done it
Damn.
So I figured
So we're not getting the authentic review.
No, and I apologize in advance that you can barely hear him. The volume's max on my
Yeah,
end.
I had to turn up the volume because I couldn't hear.
Because he's talking like this. Hey, this is Big Rob, and I'm doing a review of Mountain Dew USA.
That others know what I think about it. So, Mountain Dew USA. It's actually really good.
All right, let's see it.
It's 3 flavors collided together.
It's 3 flavors collided together.
Okay, sound enticing. All right, let's see what he says.
Baby. Here we go. Like I said, I've tasted this before.
We get it.
I'm gonna actually tell you, like, what I like about it and stuff. So here we go. Pinky
Let's
up.
see it.
Pinky up.
Damn, he's drinking. Wow, that was a
Guzzling.
lot.
He loves it.
Damn.
It's fucking delicious.
It's fucking delicious.
It's fucking delicious.
Like I said, it's one of my faves.
No shit.
It's like, it's a fruity flavor.
It's a fruity flavor.
Fucking good.
Can we get a rating out of 10 though?
I have another taste.
You'll have another taste. Okay, so that means it has to be good.
Pinky up. Oh, he's chugging like he's from Fortnite. Oh,
Dang.
That's good.
That's
But
good.
yeah, I fucking love it. It's tasty as shit. Go get you some. It's Mountain Dew USA.
USA.
Basically everywhere. So go try that shit.
so there's no review of it, but Big Rob, I found him after the Twitch streamer I used to follow was playing on one of his on the Discord that he has that I used to follow as well. And there's another video he has on his channel. He hasn't posted in a while, but one of the other videos is he makes a sandwich at a Copenhagen dip. And he takes the dip stuff and puts it between the bread and starts eating it. And then he throws up on camera. And it's like he's like show me he tells his sister to film him throwing up. And it's
no.
it was gross because it looked like SpaghettiOs all coming out.
No.
And he's like, stop filming me, and he runs off to the bathroom and closes it and he goes, yeah, I just threw up, but once again the sandwich was delicious. But here's the last video that I play of this section.
Review the Haunted
Come on! This guy, his name is Boogie298. He's a YouTuber, pretty famous one, although his subscribers have dropped down recent years. I love him. I've been subscribed to him for years, and he's great. This is an old video from 2013 where he reviews the PS4.
The cops are not. Don't film me, film the game. I'm trying to. This is for YouTube.
You're more interesting.
Cause show it. Come on. The cops are here. You want to get that part? Die. I said film the game. God. I got wasted. The cops in this game do not mess around. I tell you. What is that?
You got a package.
I didn't order anything, I promise.
Well, it's addressed to you.
I didn't order anything!
It's from Sony.
What? Give it here.
Dude, he did. flip that table.
Will you help me with the table,
You
please?
just knocked it over.
I know, but I need it.
I know, but I need it.
Careful.
Here. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! It's a PlayStation 4! It's a PlayStation 4! Yes!
Yes.
I can't believe
annihilated
it!
the
Why did
box.
they send this to me? Oh, the new controller. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my god. It's so nice. Oh, there's a little touch thing, a little.
Imagine if
Oh, the share button. I can go live on Twitch. I can do. Oh my god, that's so great. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at that. Look at it. How can you not appreciate this? This isn't even for sale. You can't even buy one of these.
So basically, what happens is he reacts to the video, and his now ex-wife used to film with him when they were married, and he reacts to when he takes the other one out, throws the other he throws the PS3 out of the entertainment unit and starts playing it. But he's got a lot of videos like that. But this was his old stuff. Then stuff had become politically more correct and more had to be more appealing to the snowflakes. So some of that stuff has stopped. But he stopped that good quality. But without further ado, we're now entering, for those who are listening and viewing, this is now the third section of the show I do where it becomes more personal. We talk about our relationship between me and my guest. But I'll kind of like toss off to you for this first part. Do you remember? Do you have any memories, or do you remember when we first met, or how we first met?
So I don't remember the exact way we did. What I remember is the classic library.
Oh yeah,
Broad Rock.
Yeah.
With Mrs. Bates, who kept screaming at me because my mom was outside waiting for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I had to put on like 20 billion
Yes.
jackets. So good, dude. It was me, you, and Joe Beaufort.
And Michael Crawley.
Day after school.
And Michael Crawley. I don't know if you remember him.
Oh yes, Michael Crawley. Yes, that guy. Damn. Those days. Those were the days.
Those were the days. No, that's how I remember it too. I mean, I think I'm sure we had lunch at the same time back in Broad Rock, I should say, because I know certain times different teams would have lunch together. It'd be different 5th and 6th grade teams, or 5th and a 6th grade team, or whatever it may be, if that's how it worked back then, because now it's changed so much. And then it was the library, though, because I remember every day after school, whether I knew them or not, there's always the same crowd at the library. There's always me, you, Joe Beaufort, Michael Crawley, who was it? Amar Mohammed.
Yeah.
We're all at the same table. Omar wasn't there that much. As much as we were, but we were there every single day, and we'd get the work done, or I'd get half it done because I'd get distracted because me and Joe and Michael would arguing, and you'd get all your work done for the next 4 weeks, and then we'd ask for chess, and Miss Bates would be chess or checkers. I was never great at chess, but checkers or the big checkers. But it was always like, hey, Miss Bates was always like, hey, it's not that time yet, a few more minutes. I mean, of course with me, because my father worked there, I'd always be able to take it out whenever, but it was always that was the fun part, because we'd have that. And I remember
that was so fun.
I remember there was a little tiny green Gorilla eraser that you had, and I think we'd be stealing it, and it was just. I
don't remember that.
I remember the very small things, though, Sam. But I remember it was so great. And school, for those who don't know, it's a pretty big library for the most part, I guess, and. It was just such a wonderful place, and it would be always us to, I think, near the end. But like you said, for some reason, Miss Bates always had something out against you. She'd always be like, Hossam Zaki, your mother's here waiting for you. And 5 seconds later, Hossam Zaki, your mother is waiting for you. Hurry up!
Scream at me, dude.
And she'd be like, Hossam, your mother is here. And first of all, your mother had just gone there 5 minutes ago, and then you'd have to put 10 layers on, because back then you wear so much, even like in gym class.
Yeah.
And it was a regular sweatshirt, then it was like a turtleneck, and then it was a sweatshirt, then another sweat, and then it was like a sweater, then a big jacket, then gloves and a hat.
Bro, it was ridiculous.
And I was like, you better hurry up, go faster, because I know around this time, Miss Bates, your mother usually gets here at this time, and Miss Bates usually is about to harp on your rear and to get you to get moving. And finally it was, and it was just ridiculous. But those were the days. And it was very different. Those were probably my favorite days just because it was so much simpler. The social media, wasn't, really popular back then. I don't know if Instagram was even around in 2012, 2013. I think that's when it first started. And no one, had a phone, at least an iPhone, and no one really had iPods of that sort. So it was really great. I could always guarantee that, you'd be there. Now, granted, there were some days where there was after school meetings for teachers, so we couldn't do it. I mean, I'd always stay after Miss Bates would give me a nice snack from the snack bar. But it was, you hated it. I had to stay after school and in the computer lab quiet like I'm some government rat working for Putin. But I knew every day that you would be there, and Crawley would be there, and Beaufort, and it was just those days before everyone started going off in every different direction. Everyone would start their own little groups, and excluding others, and so on and so forth. And then after that, the Curse Corner hit, and then I think eventually you were still staying after school occasionally, but it started to become more scarce. And Curtis Corner was the worst place for after school because Miss Gagnon, whoever it was, would be there, and she'd be like, "You do this, you can't go on the computers without your work getting done, and all this, and you can't be going on YouTube, and you can't be listening." I remember one time when I took her typing class because I had to. Your dear pal Rye Bales, me and him were sitting in class back when he wanted anything to do with me and talk to me. I think he wasn't as cool as he was afterwards. He was listening, I think it was to Pandora or something like that, it was I forget what it is. iHeartRadio, and he was listening to something, and she told him you can't be doing that, and made him log off. He got all upset, and his face got more red than his hair. And that was back in the days. That was back in the days when he took that picture of himself and put it up on Google. And I remember every time the student would leave the computer and someone would go into his computer, look up the picture, and change his background to that picture. Yeah,
I remember that.
And everyone would run to his computer and start laughing. And he was so used to it by now. And he'd come from a new school relatively, or to a new town after being in Arizona or California, where the fuck was I don't care. And those were the unfortunate days that started to change. And I think though then the high schools when really two paths kind of diverged into a different direction. Whether if we go for the better or worse, whatever it may be. Where then you have actual sports teams and actual clubs, and you're actually now it's time to put more focus into after high school. Although the secondary and primary education isn't as important as college for getting a job, and more involved now that we have our own cars, not staying after each other. And then I think people starting to get more confidence, and whatever it may be, groups start to form together, social groups, and some were open circles, some were closed circles. And I think although when you were hanging out with the John Matrano and those type of kids, Sam, whatever his name is, Pascalese and all those, and it's not like you were best friends because you're, I would think more closer to the cameraman himself, Igor D himself, my old 7th grade fantasy football partner. But those kids, I think though what I really appreciate, what I really remember is that although we weren't hanging around as much, there was still a respect level from both sides, and it's still a bond that was very deep from the days of stay after school at Broad Rock. And I think that's what I always respect. And there's always, laughing, we always busted chops, but you always were able to handle it very well. And I think a lot of people don't, and then they take it to the next level and make it even more personal. Yeah, man. I think nowadays, although, besides when I first started this journey, and then recently when we contacted each other to be on it, or when you contacted me, there's still, it brought back a lot of great memories, and there's still a positive memory because it brought back memories from Broad Rock and Curtis Corner, and then when you had that brief run as on the club tennis team.
Bro, I have a bone to pick with what's her face.
This is Chadwick.
Yeah. Oh my God, bro. I can once you finish talking, I will talk.
That's why because I had that written as one of my final points. I want to mention it, but I wasn't sure just because who knows who sees this. But fuck that. I don't care who sees this. That's not my problem. It's a free world. We do what we want, But even on that brief moment with Club Towns, when you hated it, I know for a fact you did not enjoy that much, and And you freely admitted that you freely admitted that although you're at the bottom of the lineup and you were going to get better, you just weren't having any of her bullshit and anyone else's bullshit. And you were there, but we had so much fun, and I had so much fun in middle school.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Those were the glory years, and I think that's where it kind of peaked. I don't want to say I peaked in middle school because that's sad, but I think it was very enjoyable. But no, that's why I look back for it and to high school, anytime. And now, in high school, that's because everyone in middle school is kind of in the same classes. And high school, that's where, you get to high classes. So like I said, though, when you were, getting to the higher level classes, I was more, the fewer brain cell classes. It was still, there's still a level of respect at lunch and so on and so forth. And it was just a good thing. But now, what did you want to say about your own brief coach?
Yeah. I mean, dude, like staying after school at Broad Rock, like I hated Broad Rock, to be honest. Like I mean, teacher, like I feel like in general, teachers just did not like me, like for some reason. Especially in Broad Rock, Miss Ank hated my guts, bro. She hated me so any wrong step, boom, she would like go off at me. It was ridiculous. Like, and actually, to this day, I still get like pretty pissed off about that.
Well, it's like Jeremy Taylor. I know you know who that is. And when we were on the middle school wrestling team, we were all our home meets were at Broad Rock, and someone was coming in from that back entrance where you walk out to go into the buses and that hallway by the band room, and she asked who that was, and he said, "Oh, someone had knocking." They're both in the hallway at the same time. Him and Miss Engen. She said, "Who is that?" And I said, "I can't tell. My eyesight sucks." Now I don't know if that's exactly happened. She said, "What'd you say to me? How'd you feel if your mother heard you talk like that?" And he was like, "What?" And Jeremy, easygoing guy, doesn't care about anything, won't back down. But she's just a interesting lady. I'm sure maybe she's nice outside of, but she was always. Everyone said, "Oh yeah, she's such an evil person. Oh, I hate her. She's rough. She's strict and stuff." But no, that was
ridiculous. But like after school, Broad Rock, that was definitely one I look forward to every single day.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And like Curtis Corner, I mean, I'm pretty sure I used like in 7th grade, like I used to go to the library a decent amount, like not an extraordinary amount of times, because I think I also did like band or something.
Yeah, the oboe.
So after school with band. Yeah. So I mean, Curtis Corner was also fun. The teachers at Curtis Corner, like it wasn't like they weren't like too bad or anything, but like it was still like a pain in the ass. But then Curtis Corner tennis.
Yes.
Curtis Corner tennis. Like when we were like talking, it honestly brought back like some crazy memories. And I I did it because it was fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Like honestly, it was so fun.
Yeah.
And like the problem with me is that she kept putting me at the bottom of the lineup, and it was like 12, right? So here's my issues with that. I should not have been 12, okay? And no shot should I have been 12. I remember distinctly, I used to beat number 8. Like, I'm pretty sure our record was like nearly the same. Like, he won the same amount of times I won or something like that. And every time I won, she would always be like, "Oh, it was the wind." What? It's not even windy. Or something like that, okay? And then I used to have beat doubles with number 11.
Yeah.
And like, whenever she would serve, like what's the point?
Yeah,
we might as well just like finish it and like skip you and like give the point to the other team.
Yeah, that's what it was like for me when I played in high school. And I loved who I played with, Liam Gagnon, but his serve was not consistent, and it's well documented. And I love him. He's a good friend, although he was the one who jipped out at me a few weeks ago to be on the show, and we'd have big matches, and like we'd lose the game, and it was like, oh, come on, I might as well just give it to you, but. Oh, well, that's in the past, and you're into better and greater things. Yeah. What I wanted to mention next is a memory that I remember, and then you created something with a teammate of mine and a former friend of yours. I don't know if you still talk to him. You created, I think it was SKSAT with a rival of mine, someone who I don't like to this day, Braden Keogh, and kind of explain, if you can, to the viewers and listeners. Why you wanted to create that? What was the purpose? Of it?
Yeah. So I mean, it's actually still running, but like I like pivoted it because I mean, I'll talk about that actually.
Yeah.
So I came back from this was before I went to the UK. We just finished our freshman year, And he sent me a text and he's like, yo, do you want to like start a college advising business? And I'm like I didn't have like too many like issues with him. Yeah, he got under my skin a lot because like he did a lot of like pretty annoying stuff that I'm hopefully he knows.
Yeah.
But regardless, like I was like, yeah, like why not? Like if someone brings to me a money making opportunity that like we can, you know, take advantage of, like screw it, let's do it.
Yeah.
So so our plan was to like make a YouTube channel or something to like release like 2 or 3 videos a week over the summer and like have this site on the side so we could accept orders and stuff like that. So I was on the grind. Like I made like 2 or 3 videos a week while I was in the UK, and he didn't do anything. Nothing. I asked him like, can you make a flyer, or like, can you like, while I was in the UK, I said, can you like go to like SK Guidance and try and like have them advertise us or something? And he's like, no, because I'm doing like tennis or whatever he was doing. I'm like, okay, whatever. So we come back, like I come back, I talk to him, I'm like, yo, like why you haven't been doing shit? Like if you're not doing anything, then like you might as well leave. And he's like, no, I'll do some stuff. He released 1 video, didn't do great. So
Of course.
yeah, so we pretty much called it off. Like I stopped doing whatever, he stopped doing whatever. And then I talked to him in December. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like you actually didn't do shit. Like you genuinely did not do anything. Like if you like in the future, if you actually want to come to somebody with an actual business proposition, you gotta put in the work. I put in the work while I was in the UK, while I had to cook for myself, like do everything by myself. Yeah. And I still got the work done. I got us some orders. We got like a ton of views. So you might as you have no excuse. Then he's talking about like, oh, how it was a waste of his time. And then he was talking about how he makes more than me in like a week or something. I'm like,
of course.
Okay, great. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't really care. And then I started it back up. And I renamed it to like College Boss instead of SKSAT because that was a stupid ass name. So I renamed it. I started putting out some videos in the summer, and then I like sort of stopped over the semester because I like kind of didn't get my schedule straight. And then I started doing it in the like beginning of December. Okay. That was like the prime time, especially because college admissions, like college applications were due almost. Yeah. Like I mean it's going well. It's going really well as of now.
So you're still doing it?
Yeah, I'm still doing it. Yeah.
Do you do it with anyone else, or do you do it by yourself?
I do it with another friend of mine. He I try to like make the videos and make the scripts and stuff like that. And he like
so you really
the scripts. He writes some blogs. We have an email newsletter and stuff like that.
You're really going into really going all in with it. That's good to hear.
Yeah, because like it like I mean when you're in quarantine, right? You have a lot of like alone time to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this was kind of like in the beginning of like I feel like in the summer I definitely did like 3 or 4 like 180s and stuff like that. Yeah. So like I decided to try and quit like going into medicine. Yeah. And like go into banking and stuff like that. And I tried that and I hated it. Like I hated banking. It was like pretty much making money for like rich people.
Yeah. Like
yeah, like it's just a waste of my time. Like, dude, you're gonna make racks, right? You're gonna make racks, but like you're gonna be someone's bitch for like 15 years.
Yeah, it's no fun.
Like why? Like I don't really want to do that. So then I did that program and I kind of like realigned what I wanted to do. And over that time, it was like I read this book because I started getting to like a lot of like I started reading a lot more, which is really great actually. And I read this book called like The Unfair Advantage, which is like what advantages do you have that you could use to benefit you in some way, right? Yeah. So I like one of the exercises in the book was like think about your unfair advantages, right? So I said I'm like in this particular program which has like a 2% acceptance rate. I know how to code. I know how to edit videos. So I might as well just go full steam ahead with what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Like with College Boss and see what happens. Like it's been like I'm blessed that it's been, you know, making some like it's been like making some passive income
Yeah.
on the side, help me out with like, like if I wanted to like buy something or anything like that, or like
Yeah.
save up. It's been really great. Like, and it's taught me a lot about marketing, team management, and all that kind of stuff.
Now, when you got rid of the bullshit version with Braden, which I can discuss later, did you like fully revamp and fully change it, or did you keep the same like base model and same look and just change the name and kind of mission statement?
So like we kind of like changed our approach, right? So our approach with SKSAT was like we're going to market to like all of the guidance counselors in Southern Rhode Island and stuff like that, and that didn't work out, right? So we completely changed it and we focused solely on like YouTube and our email newsletter. So like we've been doing that. Like we changed the name, we changed like the site completely. We changed like the services that we offer and stuff like that. So it's definitely changed quite a lot. But like it definitely requires like some sort of like you need to have some like trust in the process.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah.
Because like in the summer or something, when like I first relaunched this and I had the website, we had like what 2-3 orders or something like that, which is like modest. Like it's fine. It's like a proof of concept that something like this is actually needed, especially at this like I tried to price it a little bit cheaply because like a lot of like people charge like thousands of dollars for this garbage. So yeah, like you have to have some trust in the process. Like you have to keep going. You have to keep trying. Yeah. And thankfully in December, like we got like a decent amount of orders.
So like this past December, it really picked up.
Oh yeah, like this past December going into early January, and it's sort of like dipping now because like everyone finished their applications. Yeah. Like it definitely it got like a lot, like where we have like 30-minute consultations, and I had to do like a consultation. Like I had like maybe 4 hours of consultations in one day or something like that. So it was ridiculous. And it was all because of like those unfair advantages that I listed out. Yeah. And like getting rid of like dead weight and focusing more on like
that was a pretty significant amount of dead weight that you cut out.
Like I have like I complete respect to like I mean like respect to Braden that he wanted to do his own grind and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
He should have like told me at least.
Yeah. But he's not that type of person. He's a pretty shitty person, and he's not going to do it for you. He's only going to do stuff that benefits himself. And but hey, last time I did something like this where I was calling out consistently, I had to take down the video and get rid of my YouTube channel. I almost got sued for that. Back in my old days of YouTube that I'm sure you were aware of when I made those roast videos.
Bro, I honestly didn't like we don't need to get into it, but I did not even hear the whole story from that. So while everyone was doing their like talking about it and all that stuff, and high school I was like, yo, like honestly, just who gives a shit?
I'll talk about it. I don't care. I mean, was he talking a lot about it?
No, like I only remember this from like high school. Like there was like a few days when people were just talking about it. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And I never got the story straight, and I just didn't really care because like it wasn't my business.
Yeah. No, but people if people you knew were talking about my stuff.
Like, I mean, I honestly like it was just pretty much the whole like all of our grade was talking about.
Well, the point is that when I don't care. I mean, I'm an adult now. Like if he's a baby, it's still about, and that's fine. I mean, what I did was I had gone through school and stuff, and I had friends and stuff, but it wasn't like I was part of one group. I hung around, I should say, Sam Pascalides and John Matrano and those kids. I thought I was friends with them. Turned up, it wasn't. That was the wrong group to be with, and I hung around with them and I was fine. And middle school and stuff, I just floated. And I wish I had someone and whatever. And I just was built up after years of I like to pretend I'd say something if I got aggravated with it maybe and stick with myself, but I usually don't. And I just finally had enough, and I made one video in the fall about people, and that blew up kind of. And I made a mistake about calling someone out and saying hopefully they see us, and they saw, or James Ian had shown it to someone, and then that person saw it with a friend, and the friend's parents, who friends with my parents, called, and they saw it. It was they freaked out about it more than it should have been, and it was fine, and I didn't go too bad. And then it was rough. Mark Zamperini said certain stuff that and acted like he was some big tough guy, and maybe, and I flamed him about how greasy he kept his hair and how disgusting it was, and that sort of stuff. And then when I was taking my SATs, because that first one was when I made a joke about Joey Megan, who he dated at the time, and John Matrano, who's close friends with them, thought it was funny. A lot of people also thought it was funny. Then when I took the SATs for the second time at North Kingstown High School in like November, when the video came out, Braden was a few spots in front of me, of course, and he's like, "Oh, I thought that was funny, and you should have kept it up." And of course, he's gonna say that, but he wouldn't take the bait for you. And then he said, "Oh, I was expecting myself to be in the video." So I'm like, "Oh, well, don't worry, you'll be in the next one." So I made the next one. And I saw the line, and I looked over, and I jumped over it like 3 feet over, and I went all out. And it was the end. I had graduated stuff. I hadn't like officially graduated, but I had completed all 4 years, and it was rough. And then he saw it, and he texted me immediately, or Connor texted me immediately, and he's like, "Take it down, I didn't say this and that." And we had to have a long conversation, and then his parents freaked out at mine, and my dad yelled at him, or his dad yelled at mine, and it was rough. And Brandon was like, yeah. Just I had no problem with it. Just, it was a little harsh in that. So it was rough. So I lost a lot of respect, but I hate him. Anyways, that's, that for that, because that's ridiculous. But without further ado, that is kind of the end of this episode. Thank you though for coming out, for your time. You plugged, obviously in the beginning, your stuff, but if you want to plug it again at the end of the episode, so people who just joined now can get it.
Yeah,
so
I mean, if you're needing some college admissions help, hit up realcollegeboss.com. Real College Boss, College Boss on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Hossam_Zaki, where I tweet hopefully some useful stuff. And yeah, of course you gotta, if you're watching this on YouTube, go over to Spotify and follow on Spotify.
Yeah.
If you're on Spotify, SoundCloud, come over to YouTube and subscribe over there. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Like, see, this is why I don't even need to do this for myself, because I just have you. I added once I complete this video, I copy that this portion of the video, split it up and save it so I can have it at the end, so it saves me time. But what I want to say is that this episode, after I finish this, for those who are listening or watching, this episode will be uploaded on all platforms available for streaming podcasts. Thursday morning, late Thursday morning, early Thursday afternoon. Make sure you like and share this video with your friends and family and their friends and family. If you're on YouTube, so we can blow this up faster than the H-bomb. But also when you're on YouTube, click that notification bell so you get notified every time my lovely face and new guests come on, so you're notified when to watch it. If you're on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, like, share, and follow if you can. We greatly appreciate it. Before I go, I also want to thank those of you who already subscribed and viewed this content from the beginning. That means more to me than you know. And with that, I will leave you with this. As always, stay memeing and scheming. Take care and good night, everybody.
Hey, you just watched another episode of the ST Meme Show podcast with NoLdAwG here on YouTube. If you like what you saw, this is a few things you can do. You can click that like button so NoLdAwG knows that you like the content, knows that he can keep doing this for future weeks and episodes. We can do then next is you can click that subscribe button down below so you can join the ST Meme Show family. And then what you can do after that is click that bell notification button so you are updated and notified when a new episode of the podcast or any other content here on YouTube is uploaded for you to watch. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and all the other ones, click that like button if it's available. What you can also do is click the follow button. And then after that, the third thing and final thing you can do is you can share it with your friends and family and their friends and family so you can help grow this podcast so it can be really popular. As always, as I always say, my friends, stay meme and scheming.